Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow.
It's been quite a day. Spent mostly the morning watching movies. I watched Jurassic World Fallen, I think that's what it's called. Fallen World, Jurassic Park Fallen World. And then the second movie I was planning to watch was The Fifth Passenger. And that movie I was surprised because I didn't know anything about it, and then I discovered that a lot of the Star Trek cast appeared on this movie. I was really impressed by their appearance. As for the story, I don't know. I stopped halfway because I needed to go to the library. So I'm here now at the library, gonna return the picture books I bought for Ezri and then borrow her a new batch and maybe take a look around for other books that I would borrow for myself. So we'll see. It's now 5:45 a.m. and I'm sleepy. We actually woke up around 5:10. We came out. I brought the pillows out so I could continue sleeping on the couch. She started throwing a fit. She kept saying no this, no this, no this, and I didn't know what she didn't want. At first I thought it was the pillows. Okay, then I put the pillows on the floor and she kept continuing saying no, 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 no. So I took out the pillows, put it back in the room, came out. She kept crying again. Finally I sat on the carpet and that's what she wanted. She wanted me to sit on the carpet and not sleep. And then after that, she wanted me to take the iPad. The iPad which she threw away when I gave it to her. But the iPad is just a few feet away. So I told her to get it because it's just there. She didn't want to do it. She ended up walking over there for who knows what reason. Sorry, I'm wearing my night guard. That's why my words are a little bit scrambled here. She walked over there and now I just sat there not moving because any move will just trigger another no this, no this, no this, no this. So finally she walked over to the iPad, picked it up and put it in my lap and I'm like okay, now what? She wants me to open it. She knows how to open it and it's not as if the cover is clicked shut. It's open. So I lifted the cover and showed it to her and said that it's open, you can open it yourself. But she wanted me to open it for her. So I just sat there and waited for what she's gonna do next. Finally she took the iPad and opened it herself. I wanted to change her diapers too and she didn't want me to, so I waited until she was occupied with the iPad and then I changed her diapers. And now she's just sitting there watching her iPad. Gosh, I'm so tired this morning. I'm very tired. It's 1:21 p.m. and I just finished editing my library haul video, waiting for it to finish processing into a movie file. In the meantime, I'm enjoying this Plan With Me video by Echo Hui Crafts Co., one of my favorite sticker shop on Etsy. She does these Plan With Me videos on YouTube, so I love watching it and it's time to catch up on it. And also having a nice cup of coffee. I know it's in the middle of the day, but I just feel like having coffee. A little bit about this morning. I don't know if you got the whole thing that I was talking about in the morning because I was kind of out of it. I was sleepy and all that. But basically, my daughter has been throwing a lot of tantrums lately, and it didn't really occur to me, but just now I was thinking that maybe all of these tantrums is because of her transitioning into daycare, because she's been at home with me for the past 3 months plus, right? And she's been so used to having so much time at home with me, doing whatever she wants. So suddenly having to go to daycare when she doesn't feel like it, or because it's something that she doesn't really want, I don't know. And maybe that's why she's feeling like she's acting out. So her not wanting to go to sleep, her wanting to have her favorite snacks, like she wants to have the same things as she usually did during when she was staying with me at home. So I think that is the main problem. I don't know for sure, and I don't know how to work around it so that you'll help her transition better. But I'm gonna start with maybe letting her sleep a little bit later, because usually we try to put her to bed by 8:30 p.m. Sometimes even 9 p.m. Like last night was 9 p.m., but she still woke up at 5 5 in the morning. So I think I need to maybe extend it half an hour to an hour of me just being with her at night more, so that she would go to sleep feeling nice and comfortable and wake up hopefully in a better mood. She has been willing to leave the apartment to go to daycare and while crying, but still we still managed to go to daycare not too late, and I think that's good. And during the day, I never receive any calls from the daycare, and when I pick her up, she's usually in a good mood, laughing, playing, just being herself. So I think, when she's at daycare, she has this memory first of missing being at home with me. But while she's in daycare, she gets distracted while having fun. She forgets. But then when she sees me again, it all comes back again. So I think that's the main problem. I'm the problem. But I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know how to fix this. So I don't know. Do you have any suggestions?
Too busy eating.
No cheese? Use the spoon. Use the spoon. It's now 7:05 a.m. and we are now awake. Well, at least I am. She actually woke up around 4:30 and went to her room, and she started crying, throwing a fit. So I tried to be patient, changed her diaper. Well, actually, I asked her if she wants to change her diaper. She nodded. But then she was crying still and not really wanting to go. And before we had another tantrum like the other morning, I just sat down and waited out. And then finally she moved towards me and then laid down. And then I asked her, okay, can I take off your pants now? And then she cried but moved towards me and let me remove the pants and change her diaper. And after that we moved to the bed, and she was crying still, and I just sat there and I asked her, okay, what do you want? Do you want to sleep, or do you want a pillow, or do you want what? And then finally when I asked her, do you want a hug? And then she nodded, and so I hugged her for a while. And then after that I asked her, do you want to sleep now? And then she sort of moved towards the pillows. But the moment I moved to join her, she started throwing a fit again. And by that time, it was around 5:30. And then finally, I sat up again and I asked her, okay, do you want me to get up? And she nodded. So that's when we left the room and sat out here. And this is the result of what she's been doing. So I'm tired. I'm really tired. but there's no sleep for me because I'll have to remain awake until Daniel wakes up, and when Daniel wakes up he's gonna be leaving to attend a rally, so I'll still have to take care of her until he gets home, and I don't know what time that is. So tired. It's 8:10 a.m. right now, and I've taken my breakfast, coffee, cookie, and Ezri is still here, obviously after making a lot of mess. It's not a whole lot, I guess, but look at what she's doing. Look at what she's doing. She's standing all over me, using as a stool. I decided to read up on the California voter info guide, and it has all the information on the propositions and the people that I need to vote for. So I haven't gone through all of it yet because the book arrived just a week ago, and there's not a whole lot of time before the date where I have to vote. So anyway, I'm going through the propositions, and it's kind of hard to understand some of the things, so I needed more sources to help me decide. So what I did was, after I read the book, I went onto YouTube to look up all the videos that I can that explain or expand more on the explanation on each of those propositions. And I also looked up videos that people talk about it. So it could be from an individual, or it could be from a professional that's talking about it, just to help me understand a little bit more. And then other than that, I also look up on ballotpedia.org, and I think that's a good website to look because it has a really in-depth information, and it's not biased, and it gives a lot of information. So after I read that, and obviously the book has a lot of information as well, but just a little bit of everything, I'm gonna decide on how I'm gonna vote after doing all of that. So this is the book, and at the front it has a list of all the propositions in a quick reference format. So the description, what your vote means, if it's yes or no, and then the pros and cons. And then after all of that quick reference, there's about 4 pages worth on each propositions, the arguments for and against it. So, and of course at the end of it, there's some overviews and then some candidate statements that will help you decide who to vote for. So that's what the book looks like, 95 pages. And after this, I'm gonna have to read up on the county booklet, which is about half that amount. So that's what my morning is going to be, trying to finish reading this. Yeah, I'm going to vote. So I'm back from the library, just finished voting. So I don't have to rush on the day itself, on election day. So now I can just sit back and then not worry about who I'm going to choose anymore. And the voting's done, so that's it. It's an interesting first time experience voting in California, at least in where I'm at right now. I don't know about anywhere else. I know previously in Texas, the voting process was different, for sure. It was also at a library back in Texas, and you had to present your ID, and there were also machines. On those machines, you're supposed to select whoever that you choose to vote for. So, but here, I was a little bit surprised because I arrived at the library and they have some machines, but I didn't really glance at them. So when I first walked in, they greeted me. They were nice, friendly, and then they just told me to fill in this form, my information, and then hand it over to the lady at the desk, and then my ballots would be printed out. So I waited at the desk when they did that, and then I was halfway filling through the ballot, with my selections and all that, when a lady who had just finished submitting her ballot asked a question about, do you not ask for ID? And were they not computers that you could actually put in your ballot selections, and I decided to stop marking my selection because they were just standing right next to me and you could probably see what I'm doing. So I just stopped and then listened to whatever the conversation was about, and I was a little surprised because so the lady just so happens to be from Texas as well, and it's her first time voting just like me. And when she said that, it kind of occurred to me, don't you need to compare or look at the ID? I mean, even though I did give you my information on that form and you can look it up on the computer so you could print out the ballot papers specifically to my address and all that, but don't you need to verify that that information is correct with my ID? Because anybody could just put in a name and an address and then get that ballot if it's not them. So, or if your relative just comes in for you and then puts a vote in for you and they don't double check whether it's really you. So I was kind of concerned at how that process went. And then that's one. And the other thing was, I could have done it through a computer. As I was submitting my ballot, which was sealed in an envelope, I asked them, was there no machine that I could have used? And then they said, oh yeah, there's a machine in the corner over there. And I was like, why? Then I just asked them, so does that mean that I could have used that machine? And then they said, yeah, you could have asked for it. And okay, they wouldn't have known that it's my first time voting in California. Okay, I'll give them that. But still, isn't it, I guess, a common courtesy to ask them whether I prefer a paper ballot or you want to vote through a machine? If there is such an option, because otherwise, anybody who walks in and then you just straight away ask them to fill in the form to give your information so you could do a paper ballot when you could just easily do it through the machine. Isn't that so much better? I don't get it. So anyway, I finished my ballot, submitted it, put it in the blue bag, and I walked out with a sticker that I voted. I guess I'm not gonna bother worrying about the process unless later on some news comes up and then said that, oh, there was some breach or something. It's probably nothing to be concerned about. I just find it odd that the process to vote in this area was done in such a way. But next time, when it's time to vote again, I'll definitely ask for the machine. I just finished making a bunch of calls. I was motivated to make dental appointments because I noticed that Ezri has brown stain on her left bottom molar, and I knew we should have probably sent her to see the dentist much sooner. But then, I don't know, there was a whole lot of excuses that I gave. So anyway, so I made an appointment for her dentist, first time visit, her first dentist, and it's gonna be tomorrow. I figured just get it out of the way before things drags on and it becomes worse. So yeah. And then after that, I did make an appointment, a dental appointment for myself too, but that's only happening next month, November 14. Because now for my case, I noticed that I have this what could be like a fracture line, and it's reddish, so that's a cause for concern. I did notice at first it was an ache, and then when I looked at it in the mirror, I was like, oh gosh, that could be a fracture line. And I don't know what's gonna happen because I do have bruxism and I tend to sleep on this side. I do wear a night guard as well, so I don't know, stress, everything that adds up to all that, I think there was just too much stress on the teeth, and I'll just have to wait 2 weeks for that. But that's okay, I'll just have to be more diligent in my brushing, and maybe I'll go get some Listerine, I don't know. And then I'm thinking maybe I should make an appointment to see a doctor for my annual checkup, because it is high time I do that. It's a day full of making appointments. and filling up forms because, of course, with a new dentist visit, since we just moved to California, I had to fill in the pre-visit forms. Yeah. Fun times today. Fun times. It's Wednesday morning and I just got back from dropping Ezri off at her daycare. And she was very good. I mean, immediately after I took her out of the car, she wanted to walk on her own up the stairs into the daycare and walk happily into the class. And she even sat on the table and started playing with the Play-Doh. Later on, I'm going to be dropping by because they have a Halloween party. So it's going to be around 10 and I'm probably going to drop by around 9:45. But before that, there are a couple of things that I have to do. So I'm going to have to cook the remaining chicken with the remaining pesto sauce. And I also have to film my Plan With Me videos because I have not been doing that for the past 2 days, and I'll tell you why. I have been immersing myself in political talks or discussions on a Facebook group, and it got pretty heated. I didn't really participate all that much, except to try to, temper down all the raging fires that's going between two sides. And it's funny because these people aren't exactly from US originally, but they've been living here in US for quite some time, and they were really passionate about their beliefs, which is okay. But the way they were debating or discussing with each other was just toxic. Trying to get a proper view of different political views from both sides was almost impossible without including all the nasty stuff that came out from their mouth. So I decided yesterday evening to leave the group. As you can imagine, all that drama sort of drew me in, and I couldn't stop myself from reading comments after comments. And it's my fault for not having the control to leave when I should, and it took away most of my days. So I think it was high time I left the group. So I left. And this morning, I'm going to do something else entirely different from anything related to US politics. Well, discussing US politics at least. I mean, I'll still be watching the news because the mid-elections is coming up soon and I voted. So I want to know the results. Anyways, I'm gonna go and film my Plan With Me video right now. Goodness, you recognize me even though I have my hoodie. Okay, go back there, go back there. Go back there, go back there. There, put inside your bag. Open your bag. Thank you. Say thank you. There, put inside. Alright. Thank you.
Hello, Superman. How are you? That's for you.
Good.
Can I open your bag?
Open your bag. There, put inside.
There you go.
Some more over here.
Thank you.
Over here.
Over here.
Over here.
Over here? A little bit more.
Yeah, over here.
Here. Open your bag. Thank you. Say trick or treat. All
or
right, let's
treat.
go. Go sit down. Oh, okay, Mama, you take
Okay, come.
We're ready. They're warm up.
Come. Over here. Halloween.
Mommy
Not
and
yet.
Daddy check
Not
the
yet.
candy. Okay, and then.
Hmm? Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Kangaroo.
Thanks for your call. I appreciate it.
Wow. Guys.
Ghost. So we're finally back home after the dentist visit. Somebody was crying during the visit, of course, because she was held down. She was sitting on my lap facing me, and then we laid her back, and then her head was resting on the dentist's lap while she cleaned her teeth and take a look around. But the ordeal was short, fast, so I think we got the job done, which is good. Over here is all the stuff that she got from the dentist. Some sticker, and then she got to choose a toothbrush. She chose this one, and then she got this to floss, and then that string floss, and then some toothpaste, some rubber ducky, a bag, and a fact sheet. This one over here is the trick-or-treat bag that she got from her daycare. So we have some rice crackers, some Kit Kat, and then a variety of snacks that I don't think she's ready for. And some candy lollipop stuff, which I don't think I'll be giving to her because there's way too much sugar. The dentist said that her teeth is good, strong. The brown stain that I mentioned to her that was on the molar, she said basically it's just a stain, not a cavity. And it's just and the brown stain was there because the crevice of the tooth, the way it was formed, made it easy to stain. So I guess I don't really have anything to worry about. This is all there is. I can tell you already that none of these she will get. Maybe I'll try giving to her. Well, actually, she would get this. The healthy option. And I would probably help eat this one and this one. Or maybe I can try and give her some of this, because it's easier and she won't accidentally swallow like this one. So maybe that one. And then the rest of it, I think I'm gonna give it to Daniel. Or maybe give it away or something. I don't know. Because I don't take these. Yeah. Yeah, bat. Yes, there. Yeah, touch it. Touch it. It's not real. See? Look at this. See? Nothing. It's nothing.
Bat?
Yes, bat. It's nothing. It's fake. There. Touch it. See? It's nothing. It's just a toy. It's just a toy.
A TV on bat? A TV on ball? Daddy.
What are you doing? Is the bat sleeping? See you later. Where's the bat?
On the toilet?
On the toilet?
On the toilet?
Go get the bat. Go get the bat.